welcome back. In today's video we are going to be zeroing the one leaf scope which we unboxed in the last video. We're out in the field. So the bore sighting procedure, I've put the target out at 25 yards. As you can see, there's a massive backdrop there. If I come right the way down, you can see it goes all the way up. So there's a nice big bank. So we're completely safe. Gun's completely unloaded at the minute. We're going to bore sight it, so take the mod off, take the bolt out, look through, hold it as if the centre of the barrel is on that bit of cardboard there, and then don't move the gun and adjust the crosshairs to where roughly the centre of the barrel is as such. So get that set up, and then we'll do one bullet, hopefully then it's on paper at 25 yards, and then we can readjust it, get it bang on at 25, and then move it back to 100 metres. So that's the rifle with the one leaf mounted on it. As you can see, it looks pretty good. Using my dad's GRS stock, Brown & X bolt action, T8 moderator, old Harris bipod on the front, and then the ammunition we're going to be using is Sako. And what are these? Sako 308 123 grain soft points they are. So I'm going to put all the ballistic calculator stuff into that one leaf scope because it has a built-in rangefinder, and then we'll get this gong out as well and we'll see what it says it's dropping at 300. I haven't got my chronograph with me, so we're just going to have to go off the rough figures on the box here, but normally they're fairly accurate. It obviously just varies on barrel length and all sorts. I've just set up the scope, the brightness and everything like that. Put in the ballistic calculator all of the information, ballistic coefficient, the weight, the rough speed of what it's saying on the box. I know it's not going to be 100% accurate, but I don't have my chronograph on me today. Just had a look through it, and the bore sight's pretty much there or thereabouts, so I think it's going to hit the paper. So I'm just going to aim at the top target and see where that hits. So what I'm going to do now is fire a shot at that target, put the bolt back in. That sandbag's a bit too big, typical. I haven't got all of my right stuff with me, but sometimes you have to improvise. So I've just got my jacket roughed up underneath me, got my ear defenders on. These are in the mag ready, gonna get these into the gun. I see it's all nice and safe, no one's around, we're in the middle of nowhere. Double, triple check. Great big backstop, that's fine. So let's get one in the chamber and just gently squeeze this one off, and hopefully it hits the paper. We'll walk over, have a look, see where it hits, and then do an adjustment. We're not used to shooting this gun because it's my dad's, but we'll give it a go. Shouldn't be too bad. Rookie error. Squeezing the trigger and the safety still on. I forgot you can close the bolt with the safety on this one. Let's recompose. Right, we're live. That hasn't even hit the paper. So it looks like I do need to do an adjustment because it hasn't even hit the paper at 25 yards. The target just 10 yards closer because it was a bit further than I thought to start with. Turns out the zero was off way to the right, so I did a correction, shot a bullet, and as you'll see now, I'll just zoom in and you'll see the first bullet hole went on the far right on the silver. So that was my first point of impact. And then obviously I did a correction whilst aiming at that crosshair and then moving the reticle to where that bullet hole was in the centre of the screen. And obviously it's hit near enough there or thereabouts. So it's near enough there at close range, 0. So now I'm going to move it back to 100 metres and see where it hits now, and then finalise it with a few more bullets. The menu UI system so far, a little bit faffy to get used to compared to the HIC Micro one, in the sense of you have to spin the wheel a lot to do a lot of adjustments, like move the crosshair. So when you're trying to keep the rifle steady, it's quite hard because you've got to spin it around a lot. And I also found that issue when typing in the ballistic coefficient of the bullet and the bullet weight, I think it was. I had to spin this wheel to do the adjustments a lot. Like I was sitting there for a good 2 minutes spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. So if you could make the increments, I suppose it's good that the increments are small for when you're doing minute adjustments and you want to get it pinpoint accurate, but then ultimately it does take ages. There should be a button where you can vary it. But so far, picture quality is good. The only thing I would say is the focus wheel is very sensitive, but that's the most case on digital scopes. But let's get this back to 100 metres and let's have another go. So it's pretty much pinpoint on at like 20, 25, whatever that was. So now I've moved it back to 107, I think it was, which is 100 metres because I work in metres. So now I've got one more bullet. Just going to shoot at that target and see where it hits. Obviously we're going to have to do some more pinpoint adjustments now. So this is really where, if this is no good, then we'll tell, because obviously we want it pinpoint accurate really, especially when you're doing deer and you are head or neck in sometimes, because that is what we have to do. So let's stop faffing. This is an adjustable day-night scope between first and second focal plane. Obviously most traditional scopes you're fixed to one, but let's give it a go. See how accurate we can get it. We should be able to get it fairly accurate. Well, let's just take our time and get this nice and accurate. So I'm going to aim at the bottom target this time. Same again, the quality isn't the best when shooting at targets, I find, with these day-night scopes. Right, so that bullet's hit a bit high and a touch to the right, but it was shooting ever so slightly to the right. So I think I'll give it a little adjustment now and then we'll have another go. Just needs to come down about 8 inches and about 1 inch to the left. So you can see I'm having to like really turn it to go up quite a lot of adjustments, and then you've got to like hold it steady again on your point of aim. I've just done that adjustment. I've just changed the reticles, so there's one that's not got loads of like mil dot lines or holdovers. So ultimately you don't really need it on this when you've got the ballistic calculator, so it's going to make it a bit easier to see the crosshair. As everyone knows, these digital scopes, it's not a lie, it's not just one leaf. Every brand, when I've been doing my Hick, when I've done Pulsar ones, they're all not crystal clear. They're never as clear as glass. They're not quite there yet for target shooting as such, but they're a good all-rounder for, like I'd say, like if you're doing it quite a lot, like shooting, and say you're out in the day doing deer stalking and you only want one rifle and then you're going out foxing as well. Like stuff like this, like digital day and night scopes, you can't go wrong with really, as long as you've got like a little portable power bank with you. Most of the time they'll last a day, but I mean if you forget to charge it then you're screwed the next morning. But if you've got a little portable power bank with you, you can just put it on charge. This one should be pretty much bang on, hopefully, as long as I've not over adjusted it. Another thing to note as well is just letting the barrel cool down in between shots. We've only done I think 3 or 4 shots, so we've not done many, but if you do loads of shots, and depending on what type of barrel on that you got, it does warm up and then it starts spitting them everywhere on the targets, which is just a waste of money and a waste of your time really. So just take your time with it, make sure your breathing's controlled, make sure you're steady before you're pulling the trigger. Right, had a bit of a user error moment. When doing that last adjustment, it says keep the white crosshair where you were aiming and move the red one. And I did it the other way around, being completely open and honest with you. So the bullet went a lot higher than where I was meant to be aiming, or it was meant to go. So then I've redone it and it's gone exactly pretty much in line, perfect height wise. It's just about 1 inch to the right. So I'm just going to do one more adjustment, bringing it 1 inch to the left, and one more shot, and we'll see where that lands. But technically, with these digital scopes, you hold the crosshair. So on this one, it's the white crosshair where you were aiming, and then you're moving, when you're doing your X and Y adjustments, you're moving the red crosshair so it's over the bullet hole. Let's move that across. It's a little bit easier said than done when trying to do it lying on the floor and you haven't got a proper sandbag you're using your coat, but hey ho, we move. That's about right. So save, successfully saved. Come out the menu, get another one in the chamber, and let's hope this is bang on now. Oh, that one kicked like fuck. Well, I think that will do. It's pretty much hit the bullseye on the reactive target. I'm probably shouting, just realised, because I've still got these on. But yeah, let's let the gun cool down and let's have a walk over. But from what I can see here, that's pretty much bang on the bullseye. So what we'll do is we'll leave this to cool down. I'll go over there and show you. Then we'll do 1 or 2 more shots. So I'm 100% confident and gaining a bit more confidence with my kit. So this scope, because it's new, getting used to it, because ultimately it's new. So I want to get practice in before I use it on anything living. So, and then we'll push it out to 200 or so and see what it does. That's when I was 1 inch to the right, did 1 adjustment, and I don't think you can get much better than that. For reference, that's my fingernail, but in my eyes that's bang on. So what we'll do is, now we know that's 100% bang on, unless I've luckily pulled it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to check it as it's bang on that one. We're just going to do one shot at that one there, and then we'll try it at 200 and 300. Let's do that one more shot, and let's see where it lands, but it should be in the bull, as long as I don't fluff it and pull it. Oh, God, right. Let's go. One more shot, and then let's get the gong out 200 and check this ballistic calculator. But theoretically speaking, these bullets, let's have a look, see what it says on the box. At 200, they're dropping 11 centimetres, or if you're working inches, that's 3 inches. So not a lot, really. And then at 150, they're dropping 3 centimetres, or 0.8 of an inch, so an inch. Let's do the same again, and let's get that perfect. So another thing to note as well, you don't want to be fighting into position. You want to be as if you're asleep behind the gun, nice and comfy, and you're just resting your head on it. So that one's hit in the reactive target by the looks of it. Pretty much bang on, I think a touch high, but it's still within an inch circle. So we'll have a little walk over now and have a look at that shot placement, and then we'll get the gong out, because I'm pretty happy with that. If you can hit that at 100 metres consistently, then you'll be more than fine shooting at a deer's heart-lung area, like a 4-inch kill zone. Or obviously, if you're shooting head or neck, you're slimming that down to about 2 inch. Well, the last final bullet from that adjustment, bang on, and I was happy with that. And then I said to myself, I'll do one more bullet to check it's confirmed. And from bang on bullseye to pretty much touching the bullseye, a touch high, like I said before. But that's probably just literally the grouping, or me on the digital scope not getting it exactly where I was aiming. But come on, that's good enough for me. So now that's set up, bang on, and I've set the ballistic calculator up. We've got the gong out. I'm not too sure of the brand of this, it's one of our mates. And then we're going to set it up all the way over there on that big, massive, safe bank. So it's about 200, I think, roughly from where I am. There we have it, we're back, and we've set up the gong. It's about 200 and something metres over there. 200 and something yards, sorry. My dad's Swarovski bins rangefinders are set in yards, but I work in metres. I've set the scope up in metres. There's a slight crosswind from right to left. You should just be able to make that out looking at these. Ever so slightly, not a lot. So I'll just hold a touch favour to the centre of the target, and it should be there or thereabouts, because these aren't going to drop that much at 200. Just been playing for about 20 minutes trying to calibrate the rangefinder. I need to get the manual and have a good read, but in the settings you can align, rangefinder align it's called, and the instructions are put it on night mode, and obviously laser rangefinders, they send like a beam and then bounce back, so tell you how far away it is, and you can, in day and night mode, you can see where that beam is, and then you have to take the green little box, which you'll see on the scope second, to that beam. However, it seems to be there or thereabouts, but I think you've got to do it at a certain distance for it to work. I know them Swarovski binos are 100% accurate, and that's saying just over 200 metres, so it's within 10 metres, so it's here or there, which ain't really going to affect the bullet drop that much. So what I'm going to do is just aim centre of mass just off to the right a touch, and we'll see where it hits. Well, that second one hit exactly where I was aiming, so it definitely works. Well, if I was aiming, I've just put it back on, where the holdover's saying is about half a target. So if you just aimed at 200, you'd be about, I think that's a 6-inch gong, so you'd be 3 inches low, which obviously ain't ideal. So yeah, definitely works. Overall initial thoughts of zeroing it all day and night scopes, this isn't a criticism to One Leaf, all day and night scopes, they are a little bit faffy. Luckily I've got quite a bit of experience on them, so it's not too bad, but I've just taken my time with it because it's ultimately a new complete platform. Obviously prior to this I've done loads of pulsars and loads of different Higgs scopes, so I know exactly the ins and outs of how they work. This is the same principle but it's on a different system, so I'm just trying to learn it and not give off too much information to you guys because I don't want to give off wrong information. So I'm going to carry on using this in the background now at zeros on the deer and see what my overall honest opinion is on this scope. But generically so far the pitch quality is good. As you can see, we're shooting all the way over there, 200 meters away, and yeah, it's nice and clear. It's never going to be as crisp as glass ultimately. Never buy a digital day and night scope expecting that.